Good evening. This is This Week Tonight with John Irvin, and this evening we have Emma Johnson with the Nantucket Land Council. Emma, tell me a little bit about the Land Council, and then we'll get into what's going on down there.
Sure. We were founded in 1974. We are a nonprofit with a focus on environmental advocacy and protection. We work to protect large swaths of important property here that have environmental sensitivities, rare species, wetlands, type things like that. We also do a lot of legal advocacy where we represent groups in legally binding cases. We go to court and enforce conservation restrictions on properties. And we also work to educate and inform the public on environmental issues that are happening now on Nantucket.
Which is very important with water, it being one of those important things on Nantucket. I'm sure you guys have your
Absolutely.
figures out everything.
Absolutely. Water quality is a huge topic for us right now. We've had a lot of progress recently with some different eelgrass mapping research projects that went on, and we're starting to see what the effect of fertilizer and septic use is on our harbors.
Now, what have you found with that, the fertilizer use? Is it primarily nitrogen, or is it also phosphorus and potassium?
It's both. Well, it's nitrogen and phosphorus mostly, and that's coming from over-fertilization that is on impervious surfaces, runoff. Rain hits it and it carries it into the harbor, and we have a sole source aquifer here, so we only have one source of drinking water, and that's why it's so important that we protect it.
As I understand it, that aquifer is pretty large.
It's doing its job so far.
It certainly is. Now, what caught my eye when I was checking out Facebook and I saw what you posted on Facebook, it's the grant or the grants that are coming up. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Sure. We offer educational grants. This is our 23rd year of offering grants to any teacher on the island, including some students, as long as they have a mentor or a teacher assisting them with a project. So people can apply until October 17th. That is our fall deadline, and we will offer it again in the spring. The purpose of offering these educational grants is to encourage students to get familiar with our local environment by using the island as a classroom, by getting out in nature and doing things hands-on to see the effects. We recently renamed it the Karen K. Borcher Educational Grants in honor of our past president, who was a real champion of our educational programs, as well as a career-long teacher and an a volunteer at the Children's Library.
Now, when somebody would be applying for these, would they find information online?
Absolutely. We have a grant application downloadable from our website, which is www.nantucketlandcouncil.org. You can also stop by the office. We'd be happy to print one out for you.
Bugs. You protect those.
Kind of. So yeah, they're available now, and the process is that you would fill out this 2-page application. We dispense up to 10 grand a year. So per grant, we say, please limit your maximum request to 3 grand, and there's no minimum. Our education and research committee will review all the grants and then vote to disperse monies.
Now, can you give us an example of some of the grants from the past and how they've been used?
Yes. We've given money to teacher workshops to further teachers' understanding and curriculum. We've given money for field trips for the entire classroom to get out and go explore. We also do elemental things such as providing money for additional curriculum tools like school books, equipment for specific science projects.
That fly really likes you.
He loves me.
Now, as I understand it, if you're a high school student, you can apply for this as long as you have a mentor?
That's correct, yes. So often this works well for science fairs. So if a student comes up with a project idea and they need some additional funding to get the equipment they want to use for the project, they can apply. They just need to have a teacher or a mentor. So it could be someone from another nonprofit organization. It doesn't have to be your specific teacher in school, just an adult who's willing to work with you on the project.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Well, Emma Johnson, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.